What's up, DJs? Back at the Pro Picks HQ. I'm Ron.
And I'm Big D.
And welcome back to our series where we teach you the ins and outs of sports betting and how to become profitable.
Today we're going to be going over some terms used when talking about game lines.
Game lines are when you're betting on the specific team's outcome or the game's outcome.
So the first two we're going to be talking about are money line and three-way money line. Money line is when you're betting on a specific team to win the game outright, including overtime. Three-way money line is when you're betting on a specific team to win in regulation. Overtime does not count. You will lose your money.
Next, we're going to be going over point spreads. In different sports, it'll be called different things. In hockey, it's puck line. In baseball, it's run line. But it's pretty simplistic. When the point spread is at a plus, let's say it's at plus 10, that means the team can lose by 10 or less or just win the game outright. Whenever the point spread is at a plus, that means the team that it's for is going to be the underdog. You can always do an alternative point spread and pick the favorite team at plus odds, but remember the odds are going to be very bad considering that the favorite team is supposed to be at minus. That's what we're going to be going over now. Minus 10 will mean that the team has to win by 10 or more. If they lose, you get your money back. If they win by 10, you get a push, meaning you get your money back, but you don't get your profits. Now, what if the point spread is at plus 10 and they lose by exactly 10? Again, that's a push. You get exactly your money back, no profit. Remember, you can always choose alternative point spreads, meaning you can pick the underdog to go minus 4.5, meaning the underdog wins by more than 4 points. Whenever it's at a 0.5, guys, it's a blessing and a curse. Because if they hit it by 4, you lose. If they hit it by 5, you win, but by half a point. So, what you want to do, guys, gamble responsibly and make sure you take our picks on our Discord. Back at it to Big D.
The third game line method that we're going to be talking about is the total and the team total. The total comes to an account with both teams. Let's say for hockey, the over is 5.5. That means one team could score 6, or they could both score 3 combined and go to overtime and score 7. It's both teams combined. And team totals, when you're betting on one specific team to net a specific amount of points. Let's say you're betting on the Spurs to get 100 points or more. If they get 100, it's going to be a push. If they get more than 100, you get your money back and some.
That's all you need to know for game lines. Next, we're going to be going into player props.
Player props are when you're betting on a specific player's outcome in a game. Specifically, we're going to be talking about basketball today. So, the 3 most common ways of betting on a basketball player are the points, assists, and rebounds. Points are when you're betting on a player to net a specific amount of points. Let's say it's 16.5. That means he has to get 17 points or more or you lose. If it's 16, you lose. That half is a blessing or a curse. Assists are when a player passes the ball to someone and they shoot and make the basket. Rebounds are when someone shoots, it hits the rim, or it bounces off the backboard and that player catches the ball right after. That is what a rebound is.
Now we're going to be going into stat combos. You can have these combined. For example, points and assists at 7.5 means he has to get 7.5, meaning more than 7 points and assists combined. So he can get 4 points and 4 assists, and the bet will hit. You have points, rebounds, and assists. You have assists and rebounds, and it all means the same thing. I personally like taking points and assists, points and rebounds, and points, rebounds, and assists, rather than taking rebounds and assists, because they can score 30 points if the line is at 28.5 for points, rebounds, and assists, and get no rebounds and assists, and it still covers. It's a lot more flexible. You also have double-double and triple-double. Double-double means the person gets 2 digits in 2 categories. So 10 points, 10 rebounds, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 10 steals, 10 blocks. Triple-double is a little bit of the same thing, except they get 2 digits in each category in 3 categories. So it can be 10 blocks, 10 rebounds, 10 points. Usually it's 10 points, 10 assists, and 10 rebounds.
We also want to note that when you are combining those stat lines, the lines are going to be higher rather than just doing points, rebounds, or assists. The more you combine together, the higher the lines are going to be.
Remember, guys, when you're betting player props, you want to stay away from those parlays. Remember, we want to be getting those Vegas refunds. We don't want to be giving our money to Vegas. Now, onto the hockey, I'm going to give it to Big D. I know I got the hockey jersey, but he's the real pro.
Now we're going to be talking about hockey props. There are many props, so we're going to go at it one by one. The first and most popular prop is the SOG, which stands for shots on goal. That is when you are betting on a specific player to net a specific amount of shots on goal. Let's say it's 2.5. That means they have to score. They have to get 3 shots on goal or more. If it's 2, you lose. The next option is goals. That is when you are betting on someone to net a goal, and those odds are going to be not so good compared to the other ones because you're taking a chance on someone to score a goal. The next prop we're going to be talking about is goaltender saves. That is when you are betting on a goaltender to make a specific amount of saves, which were the shots on goal. You also have goals against, which is when you're betting on a specific goaltender to let in a specific amount of goals or to not let in a specific amount of goals. There are also blocks, which is when someone on the ice blocks a hockey puck. And those lines are usually at 1.5 or 2.5. There are also hits, which is where you are betting on a player to hit another player. As simple as that. There are also shutouts, where you are betting on a goaltender to not let in any goals throughout the entirety of the game. And those odds are a lot worse than all the other ones because of the likelihood of those happening.
Now, guys, I'm going to go into some tips and tricks. How do you know what team is at home? Well, that's pretty easy, and this is something he taught me. When you're looking at your phone, the team to the right is the team at home, or the team on the bottom is the team at home. Let's say it's Golden State and San Antonio Spurs. The reason that the team is on the right will be because it's Golden State at San Antonio. Or let's reverse it, San Antonio and Golden State. Golden State is at home because it's going to be San Antonio at Golden State. Now let's go over some slang, guys. You may have heard the word lock a lot. Nothing is ever a lock. Nothing is ever guaranteed. But usually when I use that word myself, I use it to think of it as, what are we going to do for the pick of the day, D? Well, this one's a pretty good lock. It means it's a pretty good pick, and it's most likely to happen out of all of them. Now, could I be wrong? Of course, we all can. We're not prophets. We're not Vegas.
Nothing is guaranteed in life except death and taxes.
Now let's go over parlays. Some of you may know exactly what I'm talking about in D-Gens, but for the ones who don't, I'll explain it in detail. Parlays is when you stack your bets. For example, you'll go Jarrett Allen over rebounds combined with the over on the Spurs game and a bunch of other things all combined into one slip. Those odds will multiply, and parlays have a greater yield. But the likelihood of you hitting those are close to 0. If I'm correct, in fact, the more legs you add, adds another decimal place. So 2 legs, chances of hitting that is going to be about 1%. 3 legs, chances of you hitting that are 0.1%. It's very, very tough to be hitting these parlays consistently, and you don't want to be losing your money on those. That's why we emphasize that you just take one pick and put most of your money on that one pick. Where do you find these picks? Our Discord, our social media. Like, follow, and subscribe for consistent picks, guys. We go over them in detail here on our YouTube. We give explanations here and there on our Discord, and we definitely don't want to lose money because we put our own money on that too. Now back to the parlays. You know, they're not the best. So please, stay away, guys. Gamble responsibly, be smart, be consistent. All right, guys, now we're going to be going over odds. When you're placing your bet, you're going to see minus or plus. If you're placing your bet on a minus odds, don't worry, guys, that's not bad. That's good. That means that whatever bet you're placing is favored. Now, minus is how much money you have to bet to win $100. If your bet is at minus 250, that means you have to bet $250 to win 100. That's why odds matter. You want a greater return and you want better odds. But the higher those odds, the more unlikely it is to happen, which is why the odds are higher. He's going to be going over plus odds.
When you see plus odds, that means you're betting on the underdog. For example, let's say the Spurs money line is plus 200. That means if you bet $100 on it, you're going to be getting a $300 return, which includes your $100 original investment.
Alright guys, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, and also make sure you hit that notification bell. Stay updated with the link tree in the description and in all our socials. We also have a Discord where we post one free pick of the day every day. You can trust your money with us. Will we win for you? You bet.